Another aspect is the classification of verbs into verb transitive and verb intransitive. We speak of verb transitive as we speak of verb intransitive in the language of English language. What do we mean by verb transitive, otherwise referred to as transitive verb? What do we mean by verb transitive? Verb transitive. Verb transitive. A verb transitive is a verb which must take an object before it can make sense. That is to say, without object, we cannot refer to a verb as a verb transitive. A verb transitive or a transitive verb must take an object, that is the result of the action performed by the verb. We have subject, that's the giver of the action. We have object, that's the receiver, or the solver of the action performed by the verb. For example, let us see the verb kill. Kill. We cannot say Ade killed yesterday. What did Ade kill yesterday? Because kill is a verb transitive. We must indicate in that expression the object. That is what verb kill functions on or acts upon. So when we say Ade killed a snake yesterday, in this expression we have killed as a verb transitive or transitive verb. A snake is the object. Yesterday is just an adverb of time. So the verb kill is a verb transitive. Another one. Shola beat his brother last night. Shola beat his brother last night. You cannot say Shola beat last night. What would not be understood? Or the speaker would just be talking, nonsense. Something that doesn't, make any sense to whoever is listening. Shola beat his brother last week. Beat is a verb transitive, and the object there is his brother. Last night is an adverbial phrase of time. Verb intransitive. By verb intransitive or intransitive verb, we simply refer to a verb that doesn't take objects, yet it makes complete sense. On its own, it is clear and understandable. For example, I slept at 10 p.m. last night. Verb slept doesn't require any object. At 10 p.m. is just an adverbial, phrase of time. Last night is same thing. I slept at 10 p.m. last night. Another one. I thought of it recently. I thought of it recently. I thought of it recently. Thought here doesn't take any object. You may say that, what about it? It is an object of preposition of. It's never object of a verb thought. The man died yesterday. The man died yesterday. The verb die, in the past tense here we have died. The verb died is a verb intransitive. It doesn't, we cannot say the man died a death yesterday for you to say that you want to give it an object at all costs. No. The man died yesterday. The man is the subject. Our verb is died. Yesterday is an adverb. Adverb of time. Adverb of time. One should take note of, things like this. Any verb that doesn't require objects, yet it makes sense, it is understandable, the idea it expresses is understood by the listener, is called an intransitive verb or verb intransitive. If it is necessary to put an object there, it is a verb transitive or a transitive verb. Take note. From here we move to voice of verb, which must follow the classification of verb into transitive and intransitive. Voice of verb. Voice of verb. In English language, we speak of two different voices. And these are, one, active voice, two, passive voice. Active voice indicates, or active voice of a verb indicates that the subject of the verb is recognized, is seen as a performer, not a receiver of action, is a performer of action. For example, Johnson slapped Janet. Johnson slapped Janet. Slapped here is in the active voice. Because we see Johnson as the performer, the subject here is the performer of the action communicated by slapped. Janet is the object, the receiver. He took the chair or the table to the place. He took the table to the place. Took here is in the active voice because he, which is the subject, is performing action communicated by verb took. Is the performer here, as Johnson is, the performer in the first expression. They killed the goats. They, maybe the boys, or if you want to mention their names, Coyote, Felix, Ragolis, killed the goats. Verb killed is in the active voice because the subject is understood to be the performer of the action, and the action is kill. The goat is object. Now we can see that. You can say the man has died. The man has died. This one is a group of words. Has is our auxiliary, died is past participle. The man has died. Yes. The man has died. You can see that the man, we are saying something about the man because when we say subject can be understood as a performer or somebody you are talking, you are giving a piece of information about. You either define the subject of a sentence as the performer of the action shown in the sentence or somebody you are talking about in the sentence. That's active voice. Now at this juncture, we move to passive voice. Passive voice. By passive voice of a verb, or any verb for that matter, we mean the subject of the sentence in which the verb is used is not seen as a performer of the action being communicated. Instead, it is seen as a receiver, as a solver of the action performed by the verb. The subject is not performing action here. Instead, it is receiving, the effect of the action performed by the verb. For example, he was given the pen by Shola. He was given the pen by Shola. He here, which is the subject of this expression, is a receiver, not a performer. It is Shola. In this expression, Shola is the object of preposition by. Shola is the one that is performing the action of giving the pen to he. He was given. Olu is slapped by Shina. Olu is slapped by Shina. In this expression, Olu is the subject of verb is slapped. Olu is the subject of verb is slapped. But we should realize one thing, that the effect of the verb slapped is on Olu, not that it is Olu that performs the action on Shina. Instead, it is Shina that performs the action on Olu. So it's slapped. Another one. The snake was killed by Ayo yesterday. The snake was killed by Ayo yesterday. Verb killed is in the passive voice. Was killed is the verb here. Was auxiliary, main verb is killed. The subject of this sentence is the snake. It is not the snake, the subject that killed Ayo. On the contrary, it is Ayo that killed the snake. So the subject here is receiving the action. And in this case, we say that the verb, that is verb killed, is in the passive voice. The expression is passive expression or passive sentence.